Sporting contests all feature a few key moments in which they can be won or lost. In soccer, the penalty shootout is the ultimate pressure moment for any player. Whether playing for pride on the practice ground or in front of 80,000 people at a cup final, when the pressure is on, some of us choke. At the University of Central Lancashire in England, Dr. Rod Corban is investigating the mystery of choking by looking at how mental pressure can inhibit a player's physical skills.
Is it the case that when people are anxious, their movements do become very stiff and jerky, that somehow something about the control of the movement changes?
In Rod Corban's experiment, reflective markers are placed over the subject's body. These relay the relative position of his limbs to a computer for processing.
On my mark, 3, 2, 1, go.
The data is used to calculate the smoothness of his movements. In the second phase of the experiment, the player is placed under stress. He's told that his shooting skills will be rated by an expert panel. Corban wants to find out if the player's movements become less expert under pressure.
What seems to happen is that under anxiety conditions, their movements become less fluid, more stiff or rigid, and also that their movements resemble those observed when they were learning the task.
Anxiety makes a soccer player's movements less flowing. It's all down to how their brain works.
When we learn a task, a particular part of the brain seems to be more involved in the control of the action. And as we become more expert at the task, a different part of the brain becomes more active in the control of that movement.
When learning a new skill, a player's movements are controlled by a conscious thinking area of the brain, called the ventral stream. But once the player is expert at the task, their movements are now controlled by the subconscious area of the brain, the dorsal stream. Rod Corban believes anxiety reactivates the conscious part of the brain to turn what should be a subconscious expert movement into one which is clumsy and amateurish.
And that is why we think choking occurs. That is, if this ventral stream all of a sudden becomes more dominant and you tend to think too much about what you're doing rather than just letting the motor system control the movements automatically.
And while no one has yet come up with a surefire solution to avoid the humiliation of choking, we now know that the key to dealing with these pressure moments may lie hidden away in our subconscious. Michael's body is hurting, but if he thinks about it too much, he'll be in deeper trouble. Like a soccer player missing a penalty kick, he too could choke.
You're here to race. Bad things happen, so what? You carry on. You don't do this sort of thing if you stop when there's a problem.
In the knowledge that the end is near, Michael's body goes into overdrive, producing a final burst of pain-killing endorphins. This is the culmination of just over 11 hours of sporting torture. The injury slowed him, but Michael has made it. He milks the acclaim of the Spanish crowd as if he were the first athlete to cross the line. But this is what Ironman is all about, the personal battle to finish. An iron will and the helping hand of science has turned Michael Hanreck into an Ironman.
I'm really delighted to have come out here and done it. It is an absolutely brutal course. It's a fantastic race. I had a lot of fun. It's such an enjoyable time out there. It seems a bit perverse, but it is a lot of fun.
Athletes like Michael Hanreck are coming to a new understanding of how their minds and bodies work, extending the boundaries of what is humanly possible. We are all driven to compete, but now science is pushing us further than we could ever have imagined.